What I have here is a piece of sumac, and it's really pretty wood. And I decided that I didn't want to turn it as a side grain bowl because it was small in diameter. So I'm going to do an end grain bowl out of it. It's 6 inches by 6 inches right now, and I'm hoping that this edge right there, I can keep that and have it just kind of hang over. And I put a homemade faceplate ring on here that I made a few years ago. Because it wasn't real flat, I could put it on, and I shimmed it and then got it real tight. So let's get it mounted in the chuck and start turning. Alright, it spins up really nice. I can get 1100 RPMs pretty easily. So what I'm going to do is just true up the base area, and I do have a branch coming out here. And if I try to leave any of that, it's really going to be small, so probably going to cut that away. I'm anxious to see what the grain looks like this direction rather than a flat grain bowl. So let's find out. 5/8 bowl gouge, swept back. Yeah, that's gonna be real pretty. Let's try a standard grind 5/8. What I want to do here is just cut until I have all this pretty grain and let that decide how big a round it's going to be. So I'm going to get rid of the branch right now. I'm going to go back to my swept back gouge and do that. You got to remove a bunch of that. Okay, that's kind of what we're going to go with here. Yeah, I think it's time for lunch. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and sand this, and I'll get it flipped around. I won't put any finish on it right now because I haven't decided what I want to use, but I can get it sanded. I like to sand in reverse, and it helps throw the dust into my dust collector here. Well, I have it all sanded to 400 grit, and I decided to go ahead and put some sanding sealer on this side at least. Maybe I'll put all the finish on. Okay, that was a good preview. Okay, we're all flipped around. I'm going to flatten this area off, leave the tailstock up against it for a little while. Running at 800, 900. So now I'm going to back this up. This is funny because I just watched Phil's video and he was talking about his turning that the pith goes all the way through. Well, that's what this does as well. And this is a real, when it's just cut, it's just sappy and comes oozing out of there. I mentioned before they make glue out of that. Well, I think I'm going to have a hole all the way through mine as well. Oh dear. I think I got a good hold on it, so I'm going to get set up and drill this out. A little bitty bite. Alright, I'm going to go down and come back up this way with my little hollowing tool. Looking good so far. Okay, now we're down close to a half here, a little under a half there, so I'm going to shoot for around 7/16 or 3/8. Alright, it's still pretty thick where the side meets the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and use this hollower, try to take some of that out, and then I'll go to my negative rake scraper and try to clean this up. It doesn't cut very smooth, even with the gouge, but I think I'll be able to scrape it and then sand it. So we're almost there. It's time to scrape and then sand. Alright, see how this works. Freshly sharpened, and it's going about 1160. Okay, time to sand. Got my 2-inch disc. We're going to start with 80 grit, and I'll work up to 400, and I'll just show you a little bit of this, and I'll be back when it's time to put the finish on. I'm going to go ahead and start my dust collector. That's what it looks like. Not real exciting, so I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, time for probably a number of coats of sanding sealer. This is fairly porous wood. It's probably really going to soak it up. You can see those colors showing up really good when you get some finish on it. Has a really wild grain pattern in it. I better get some on the bark as well. And this is shellac-based sanding sealer, and I probably will be using shellac for the finish as well. Okay, so that's one coat on everything. The way that went in there, maybe I'll just one more sealer and then we'll shellac it. Okay, it's time to remove the tenon. I have a block in my chuck and some of this non-slip material. Shelf liner is what it is. Bring the tailstock up. Got to get it seated nice and square. Let's check it out and see how it runs. Good enough. Start with a 1/2 inch gouge. This looks like a good placement for it. We're start at about 780 RPMs. Okay, now we'll switch to a 3/8 gouge. I'm going to use this little spindle gouge for the final cutting. We may end up sawing a little bit of this off. Like that. Okay. A little bit of sanding here and we're done. Well, here we have the finished sumac bowl. I think this wood is considered trash around here. While picking up a tree at a local tree nursery, I saw a stack of wood laying on the ground and it was being offered as firewood. Well, looking at the end grain, I knew there was a good chance of it being pretty. And boy, is it. The grain is almost like it's layered on here. It looks like it has depth. It reminds me of an artichoke heart. You can see here where there was a branch. And the pith is a large diameter on all the sumac that I've used. And this branch went all the way through and it left a hole in here. So I filled that with the shavings from the turning and CA glue, and it turned out pretty good. There was also a number of cracks on here, and the bigger ones I filled with sawdust and CA glue. The other ones I just kind of let them go. This grain is extremely reflective. You turn it and it just lights up. It's so pretty. Look at that. It's just beautiful. You look inside, you can see right there where that branch went through, that yellowish color. It's just gorgeous. I sure hope I can find some more of this. I like this top edge. It's got a very unusual shape to it. It's 7 inches across that way, and it's 6 1/4 this way, and the opening of the bowl is 4 3/4. It's 4 1/4 inches tall, and the base is 3 1/4 inches. I finished it with shellac-based sanding sealer, and then shellac. 2 coats of the sealer and 3 coats of shellac. I used the Scotch-Brite in between each coat, and then I finished it off with my abrasive paste that I make. I think this is the most unusual wood, and I really like it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And a special thanks to all my subscribers. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to my channel and you feel so inclined, please consider subscribing. Thanks again, and until the next time, I'll see you later.